Rabbi Daniel Mehlman speaking on Israel and Galut at the 2016 Anosim Conference at Congregation B'nai Zion in El Paso, Texas.
I remember, actually I don't remember the first time I went to Jerusalem. I was 2 years old, and my father, Rabbi Shalom, would tell me that, he raised me over the Charmander Bowl somewhere to look at the old city, because it was a city divided when I was 2 years old. And then I remember going to Israel when I was 18, when I went to study, when I went to Aliyah. And I remember I was very emotional when I got to a certain point. Actually, that second time we went on the new road, that is the old road to Jerusalem, and coming to a place called Mevaseret Zion, Mevaseret Yerushalayim. That's the name of the town before we arrived to Jerusalem, which we read yesterday at the Haftarah at Nachamu, and I was very emotional. What a beautiful name, Mevaseret, the one who brings the message of Zion, of Yerushalayim. And then I remember when I went, and that's when I went alone, and I came back years later with my family for my rabbinical year in Shechter, and we are going up Jerusalem, and as we are getting near Mevaseret Zion, we see golden arches, because now when you are coming close to Jerusalem, you see from afar the McDonald's of Mevaseret Zion. And that's to illustrate the changes and what we've been talking about, reality, and it wasn't the same emotion, although the McDonald's in Jerusalem is not kosher and the one in Mevaseret is, but which is important to know. But there is a reality, and I was thinking, when I was about 12 or 13, I was a part of an interview, and I had certain ideas of the importance of the diaspora, of the Galut, right? Because, Galut is bad, but it's not, right? And as Blanca just said, as long as there are Jews in here, this sure needs a minyan, so it's important, and we are ambassadors outside of Israel, and we need to help Israel, whereas if we work in something that has to do with the Judaism out in our daily work or not, right? As being good citizens is all we need to do. But Israel is a special place, as Sonia said, everybody's going to go and help you. We have a destiny, we want to go somewhere, and you stand in Israel, anywhere, and you open a map, and everybody's going to tell you how to go, where you want to go. And every single person is going to lead you in a different direction completely, and that's the beauty of it, and they're going to argue among them, and I've seen the most amazing things in Israel, because that's Israel, it's full of Jews. The most amazing thing that I saw when I just arrived to Israel is, there's this guy driving a soldier, driving a big truck, and he's double parked on Amelech George, in the center of Jerusalem, blocking traffic. He stopped there, double parked, because there's a falafel shop there and he needs a falafel. Comes the policeman and says, you can't park there. And what happened from there? They're arguing on the top of the lot. Two armed people, two young armed Jews. If he would have let him buy the falafel, but they argued for the longest time about, but it's just a falafel, you can't park here. It's an amazing place. You have to go with a sense of humor. And among the greatest things that I've seen in Israel, especially when I arrived almost 40 years ago, there are no lines. If you want to go on the bus, then you just have to punch in the banks. The first time I went to the movies, There were, we were pushing each other. It was an opening Motzei Shabbat, and it was hard to get tickets. Although Israel is special, there is a place where you see straight lines, and that's the forests. Any forest that you see in the world, there trees are here and there, because Israel is the only place in the world where today you have more trees than 100 years ago because of the reforestation. However, when they planted, they didn't plant here and there as a real forest. So you have very orderly forest, but everything else is a mess. But that's the beauty of it. When we are, because that's the Jewish way, we are a democracy. We argue about everything, and we don't have the vertical hierarchy. We argue about everything, and that's Israel, and that's the beauty of it. We have to be patient, we have to be understanding, but in so many ways, going to Israel is a trip. It's something that can be an experience of a lifetime, from the culinary point of view, from the talking to the taxi driver, to the bus driver, to anybody that you meet, and the Amcha, the people that are there. But that's something that we want to see and that we want to increase, because we need the numbers to make Israel a Jewish state, not a state full of Jews, where Judaism is far too often an afterthought. So let's do that together, and we will go and we'll stop to bring in the spirit of Jerusalem at the McDonald's at Mevaseret. I invite for that one.
By the way, Rabbi Mehlman will be opening at the Comedy Store in Israel.